If you know me, I have made a lot of guides before, each killer with a video or two and a dedicated civilian guide. But they are very old, and I'm going to remake those videos, starting with civilians. It is definitely the most outdated video of the bunch because killer balancing affects civilian strategy as well, and consider this a more in-depth version of the ultimate civilian guide. Let's get right to the point here. As a civilian, you and the other 7 have the number superiority, so overwhelming killers is ideal. Unfortunately, you also do not have the power to fully do so as civilians are weaker than killers. This leads to my first and most imperative aspect of the teamwork. Surprise, I know. A lot of civilian abilities are either designed for sustainability or support. Having to choose 3 cards, with 2 of 11 unique abilities in the game, is no doubt that the first thing is choosing one. Now this part is simple, but is mandatory here. You must choose wisely as the loadout you pick will determine the course of the round. As mentioned before, abilities are either to sustain or to support, and they vary significantly. Obviously, you can pick abilities that counter the killer you are facing against. But what fun would that be? Pick whatever. I'm not stopping you. But you need to contribute to the team in some way, and that is to not pick both abilities that only benefits yourself. Yes, you can tank damage and healers can capitalize on the group heal, but that does not count. Directly help them. I have come prepared with a format that I think many will agree upon. With 2 utilities in hand, the logical thing to do is designate one to support the team and the other to sustain. Only able to support leaves your survival in the hands of others, and only able to sustain makes you dead weight. I'm going to call this the double S or SS model, because I think it is cool. Each ability has a level of sustain and support, letting you determine this for that and that for this. One important rule is that always use the tools for that purpose only. If you overcommit on one side, the other becomes vulnerable. No sustain means you are bound to die. No support means losing a potentially valuable member in the team. Now that is out of the way, let's move on to how you will generally perform in a round like this. Got your weapons ready? Good. Let's start at the basics. While you are in a round, you need to learn the stances. There are 2 stances for SS. The first one is support stance. This is the stance you will start when you are in good shape and someone else is getting attacked. Use your support ability in order to, well, help the team. Whether that be covering mistakes, removing their builds, or giving them time to escape. The possibilities are endless. In this stance, you need to stay observant, looking around to see everyone, and when someone slips up, you jump in. That's the basic of support. Saving damages while not endangering yourself. However, if a civilian is in too rough of a spot to recover, they are not worth saving anymore. The second stance is sustain, when you are low on health, when your support is on cooldown, or when you are being chased. This is where your survival instincts kick in. You should ideally find another civilian to help or cover your position and use your sustainability when things go south. Do not go out of your way to help in this stance. It is not worth it. This is also the stance where you might want to find cover to avoid surprise attacks from the killer. Knowing when to do what task to do is detrimental for the team and yourself. It is a win-win. Everyone survives the round and you win. Do not ever think that you are him and that you can solo the killer. Maybe you are, but I press X to doubt. Alright, enough fooling around, let's get into the information part of the video. Let's get into real in-depth for every single ability here. No categories, alphabetical order. I will explain the ability's level of sustain and support, and how it can be used in either way. Adrenaline is up first. This ability is mainly for sustain and have little means for support. Its speed boost is great. However, it requires full distance usage of it as getting cut off guarantees death on your shoulder. But its side ability to highlight yourself to other civilians allows them to locate the killer's position and assist you. Simple, right? Well, banana peel is up and it gets complicated. It is for support but can have the potential to sustain. It has a long windup but a low end lag. That long windup is not just a flaw, it is a cue. The windup can allow others to be ready when the banana peel is deployed. But this also means that when the killer is stuck in a long enough end lag, you can safely put a peel down to maintain pressure. Its physics-based projectile also allows some insane snipes with this ability alone, and it is a low cooldown one. Just put somewhere and it will do it for you. Bonus pad is next on the list. This is a bit of support but has decent sustainability. You are vulnerable when building a speed pad, but once it is down, everyone can utilize it. This is also a great remote support tool because you do not need to be there. The pad does it for you. But when the pad is gone, better be careful if you're using this for yourself. This is a very good time for the killer to strike you. Ideally, build this ahead of the endangered. For others, here for the pad to construct, then utilize it to the max once you reach it. Block is something different, alright? Finally, this is a sustain ability with good support usage. This requires a lot more skill than you think, but it pays off. The heal for successful parries can slightly help, essentially taking negative damage, but the support is quite limited. It disables killer abilities and blocks melee hits, sure, but hitboxes pierce in this game if done right, so is quite redundant. Cloak is the ability that I can confidently say is 100% sustain only and no support. It requires mind games and stamina this time. This thing can end chase when the game is too good and allows distance spacing even if it is not the case. Just like Banana Peel, you can take advantage of end lags but to a much more larger extent. Conversely, Caretaker is the 100% support with no sustain at all. This can heal multiple, so others should group up for that delicious syrup. Healing in chase is complicated. Try to do that when the killer is low on stamina and when they are far so you can compensate. Honestly, stay organized and Caretaker will surely shine for the team. Dash is another 100% sustain ability and is a good one overall. The simple dash is a versatile distance gainer. It can stack up when used many times. This ability is honestly the least in-depth one though. Hot Dog is a controversial one, and personally, it acts as a middle ground of a support and sustain. This is because having this ability turns you into a damage sponge, making you survive and tank more hits for the team. It does not fully make you survive due to stamina consumption. It is also advised to seek a doctor for a heal with no penalty and eat hot dogs as a last resort. Punch is your local defender, throwing hands at the killer for everyone. Try to actually use this at the very end of end lags to maximize punch value. Or if react fast enough, cover a teammate's misplay with a counterattack. Multi-purpose. Revolver is a long-range weapon for safely slowing down the killer from a distance, but is vulnerable without ammo and up close. Try not to get too close to the killer or you might redirect them to you. And if you're trying to use this for sustain, always have it loaded. That stamina downgrade will screw you over. Finally, Taunt is a frequent ability for highlighting the killer, for blocking an attack, and for redirecting attention to you. This ability is good for sustaining yourself as the highlight and force field on hit can notify the team the killer's location. Also helpful for others because you are basically become the easier target for the killer. Thought I'm done? No. We have two dedicated synergies for the chapter, Care Pad and Love Shot. Care Pad, being Caretaker and Bonus Pad, is the most frail civilian in the entire game, because your pad now heals instead of speed boost and require you to stay on the pad, luring the killer to you via the green light. Good luck to whoever trying to survive being targeted for the whole round. On the flip side, Care Pad is also exceptionally great for group healing, so you are likely to receive assistance from others. Love Shot, being Revolver and Caretaker, is the other synergy that, unlike Care Pad, is an actual upgrade thanks to the addition of lifesteal on your gun. Because of this, you should try to land many shots for that reliable heal and survive better. But once your gun goes empty, better hide and reload before the killer approaches. Gosh, finally, now I can move on to the next section. Time to talk about the team plan for this. If you're going to work with a team, coordination is the first that you will come up to mind. Because chat is limited, gosh darn Roblox butchered it, I came with an idea that can allow efficient plays. Rally points. It's in the name, rally up in specific spots to wait for cooldowns and to allow caretakers to heal a group nicely. A good rally point needs a cover that blocks ranged in sight and a suffice escape when killer breaches in. These rally points are where Banana Peel and Bonus Pad shine, as they can act as backup for the escape. In fact, this concept is not new. Civilians go to a spot caretakers heal up and gather, albeit not entirely used. Sounds simple enough, but where exactly? Let's go through the maps and see some examples. In baseplate, we have this corner of the map next to a small bridge. It has a huge amount of coverage and can escape on their side of the path. We also have this area with a ton of stuff and an elevated point. Great for maneuvering. Lastly, the killer spawn area, specifically behind the rocks, gives near full coverage and also provide great escape routes with a built-in loop if needed. In TEAPOT Paradise, one is literally at the main survivor spawn. It provides great cover and a decent escape route. In fact, both survivor spawn locations can be great rally points. This one is a loop with heavy cover, Good stuff. Oh yeah, killer spawn area works too. A giant loop, but not as reliable. In the temple, the most common one is the shrine area. By far the best rally point thanks to a drop down to escape. It also provides a high vantage point, so yeah, all reliable coverage at the civilian spawn. This cover alone makes you immune to projectiles from open grounds. The cave area near the killer spawn. Full protection and can allow mind games in this area. In Tundra's Trench, the killer spawn with fences on a high ground. A common and effective point to stay. The tight cliff by the other side of the bridge, inside the cave. It has multiple routes, and the lack of space allows easy grouping. In the HQ, this specific loop right here is great. Full cover and simple to reach. The other rally is the place where the car is stuck on the floor. Right next to Mind Game Warfare area right there. Peak of Peak. In Grandma's backyard, at the ramp to a church. This has been the main rally point for a good reason. It's connected to a loop. That's it. We also have an elevated point here. This is the most annoying drop down in this map because it is long, thus makes a good rally point. The only map left is glass houses, but that is getting removed, so nope. Hope you can find more great spots for grouping up. You are not done yet. You still need to learn about the killers and how to counter them. Like Sun Tzu said, if you know your enemy and yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. There are 5 killers as of current. Let's go through them. Pursuer is a standard killer yet has highly suppressive abilities, requiring civilians to stay close or they will be picked off one by one. Fortunately, Pursuer is also an easier killer to take advantage of due to the high-end lags of his abilities. Hiding is pretty much redundant as Pursuer can stalk anyone he wishes. Honestly, if you want to survive, stick in groups of 3 or even 2. You can cover for each other and together survive. And if you are lost, regroup fast. Pursuer can obliterate lone targets in seconds before you even know it. Badware is a heavy-hitting killer that actually demands teamwork the most because it will become stronger with fewer members alive. Do not allow Badware to gain ground so that it will not spread its computers on the map, making civilians' death inevitable. Destroy the computers when you have the chance. They still benefit from the additional damage, so just destroying them breaks its momentum significantly. And finally, never let your team die. Then you die from the sheer power Badware has gained for the entire round. Good luck. Artful is a trapper killer with a wide range of armory for some reason. I think it's more of a control type of killer since he takes time for stuff to set up. His strength does not come from himself. It's the gears he put on the maps, walls, and music boxes. Try to destroy them if possible, but it might not be possible even with the tools to do so. Avoid dead zones as well, makes it easier for Artful to trap you. And maybe if you do it right, you can outlive just enough for the round to end. Harkin is the newest type of killer, even though she was released a year ago, the most frail killer in this list. A valid strategy is to go all in to kill her, though this is the most risky one. Alternatively, you can go the safe option and not make noise for her. A simple solution for a rough killer like this. Also dodge the projectiles she throws at you, because if you get hit by the spear of hers, just give up. Killdroid is the most unique killer here, being strictly ranged and explosive. Unlike others, grouping up can allow the droid to splash damage to everyone, so split up when possible. It's also worth noting that this killer can be unfair at times, so pray that rockets won't hit you hard. Also, Killdroid can also close down areas greatly, limiting your playing field a lot. Truly a dodge and pray type of killer. This section is a bit lazy because it is getting late into the editing, so might as well conclude the guide here. One of the main reasons I made this guide is because of one important factor in these type of games, again, teamwork. You may think anyone can solo killers and survive, but the answer is not that simple. The killer will always get the advantage, and teaming up will become a necessity. And I will not say this again. No matter how good you are, do not expect to single-handedly survive against killers, or you will regret it. And don't be ashamed if you die either. The team may not have the right time to assist you, and that's fine. Sportsmanship is a factor, but a strong one for that fact. Anyways, hope you can gang up and take your revenge on the killers you despise the most.